Ano, okay na to? Hello? Test, Ian. Hindi ako makapag-play. Tol, okay na ba tayo? Pwede na ako magsalita? Live na ba?
Yeah, we're live.
Live, are we live at the page? Sir, hindi ko makita kung live na tayo sa page.
Yes, it's live on the page.
Teka lang. Sir, hindi naka-show ang screen ko.
Okay. Let's check that. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So,
This
good
one.
afternoon. Yan, yun ang hinihintay ko kanina. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, this will be the UPCAT algorithm and non-academic factors that affect your UPG. If you have any comments or questions with this video, i-post nyo lang and I will be able to answer it live as well. So, ang titingnan lang natin dito is it will be just 30 minutes ang target ko, but we can see if Sir, paano ko maka-view ang comments kaya nila? Kasi hindi ko kita. So, good afternoon. I see it now. Yan ang iniintay. Paano ko maka-view ang comment? Yan, I see it now, finally. So, thank you. Ayan, nakita ko na yung comment ni Camille. Let's now show our PowerPoint presentation kasi this will only be about 30 minutes. So, what is the UPCAT algorithm and the non-academic factors that affect your UPG? So, yung iba dito, ano ba yun? Akala ko pag mag-exam ako sa UP, UPCAT lang ang kailangan, makakapasa na ako. Actually, the UPCAT is a major factor of qualifying for UP. But that is not the only factor. Medyo maraming mga factors na makaka-affect sa pagpasa nyo. And if you are an excellent student na basically perfect nyo yung UPCAT, you won't really be bothered by this. Papasa kayo sa UP, whatever happens or not. But if you are among the bottom 30% of those who qualify for UP, may mga factors na makaka-apekto sa inyo. And making the right decisions when applying for UP will help improve your chances. So anong mangyayari dito? Okay, so I'll do this one by one. So first, we are from Review Masters. I am Ned Perez. Kasama ko dito Sir Ian, pero naka-silent background na muna siya ngayon dito. But if you have, again, any questions, you can simply post it and then masasagot ko sa inyo live. Okay? So what is the UPG? The UPG is the University Predicted Grade. Ang ginagawa nito is, based on the UPCAT and several other factors, makikita nila kung ikaw ba ay dapat pumasa sa UP or hindi. And mapipredict nila kung ano yung magiging grade mo once you are inside UP. Of course, it's never 100% accurate. Okay? They are trying to predict your performance pagpasok mo sa UP. And why is the UPG important and why is it under discussion? Because when you take the UPCAT and then the results are out, matatanggap nyo yung isang form na kagaya nito. Nakalagay dito is language proficiency percentile, reading comprehension percentile. If you notice, the scores are not raw scores. They are percentile ranking. And makikita nyo sa ilalim, your university predicted grade. Now, this is an example from the early 2000s, pero it's still very accurate today. Ganyan pa rin yung result matatanggap ng mga estudyante. Now, the cutoff. Since 2019, this is the last time na nag-release ng cutoff UP sa mga nakapasa sa kanila. Now, the cutoff is not a fixed score, but it is a cutoff of those students who are able to go in to UP. So UP Manila in 2018 was 2.11, UP Diliman was 2.174, and UP Las Bañas was 2.33. This is basically the lowest grade that is admitted going into UP. Last year, we noticed that the cutoff of UP Las Bañas was around 2.2. So lumalapit na. So remember, the lower the number is the higher your UPG. And yan ang competition. So UPG should be higher than 2.11, meaning dapat is nasa 1.8 ka siguro or 2.1 para makapasok sa UP Diliman, UP Manila, UP Las Bañas. Those are the cutoffs. But there is one thing that you have to consider in the cutoffs. The second is you also need to apply for 2 campuses and 4 courses. There will be another video where we will discuss the campus and course choices. But for now, I'm only discussing the algorithm and how other factors affect qualifying for UP. Now, a few years ago, ito yung mga cutoff. Medyo parang namali ako sequence, ano? And ngayon, 2.11 na nga siya. 2.11 and 2.174. But another factor is you have to consider sa pag-apply nyo sa UP is that there is what we call a waitlisting or reconsideration. And the cutoffs for the reconsideration are the following. UP Las Bañas, 2.8. UP Diliman, walang appeals. UP Manila, it varies but it ranges from 2.3 to 2.5. And then UP Baguio, UP Mindanao are the following. So that is how you reconsider. So kung kuwari hindi kayo nakapasa sa UP and then you have your UPG with you, you can apply for reconsideration. Okay? That's why it also matters kung ano yung second choice campus nyo. Now, this is the complicated formula and hindi ko masyado pupuntahan ng details nito. The formula was created in the 1970s pa, believe it or not, and it has been adjusted, pero the adjustment is not on the formula. The adjustment is on the other regression values. For example, if you notice these parts, meron kang English, high school weighted average, your mathematics, your science, your reading comprehension, and then dito sa W5, you have your English or language proficiency, and then science and high school weighted average. And then the W1, W2, W3, W4, W5 are regression weights. So, higher level mathematics para makuha nyo yung mga values na to. And the sample would be the following below. Yung constant na sinasabi na K is 2.8101. This constant was developed in 1973. And it is still being used now because that constant is set na yun ang magiging base score ng bawat estudyante. Okay? And then, if you notice, bawat isa meron kang regression data and this regression data is adjusted for every batch that takes the UPCAT. So those are not fixed numbers. They are, again, a part of a complex mathematics formula. But if you notice something, the science only appears at the last part na kasama ng language proficiency and high school weighted average. This is why pre-2011, ang estimate nila sa science and language proficiency is only around 15% each, while math and reading comprehension as a higher percentage. However, there has been a compromise of adjusting the regression weights para the science, language proficiency, reading comprehension, and mathematics would be almost similar to each other. So, complication lang siya, parang nakakatakot yung formula na yan. but it is a pretty good formula. It has its flaws. It has its tawag dito. May mga questions tungkol dito kung accurate pa rin ba yung results ng regression analysis na to. But so far, una, wala tayong magagawa. That is what UP uses. Pero pangalawa, it can still be adjusted every year. So, teka lang ha. I'll just turn off my camera and mic. Okay, so I'm back. Pasensya na. May kinilangan lang akong gawin. So, let's proceed. This would roughly translate to this effect. 60% of your UPCAT score na almost roughly 25% math, 25% language proficiency, 25% science, and 25% reading comprehension. That is your UPCAT score. And then 40% will be your high school weighted average. Now, that compromise ng high school weighted average nyo was included in the formula above. Okay? And it can be adjusted. Meaning, UP can say na gusto ko 60% ng high school weighted average na yun. But so far, actually, in the 70s and 80s, it was just 20%. And then 90s, 2000s until now, it is 40%. And there are calls to change that percentage. But as of now, it is at 40%. So, anong content ng UPCAT? Diba? Nakalagay dito, UPCAT. UPCAT content is math, language proficiency, reading comprehension, and science. And based on our research so far, science and language proficiency are often considered the easiest by the students. And because most students consider it easy, ano nangyayari? The results would be magkakalapit yung scores ng mga estudyante. And the effect of that, with the algorithm na sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, the effect would be hindi masyado nagbabary ang result ng UPG because of language proficiency and science. The results are often varied because of the mathematics and the reading comprehension exam. So if you are really going to prepare for the UPCAT, it would be to your advantage to focus more to improve your scores in mathematics and reading comprehension. Okay? So one of the tips na binibigay ko sa reading comprehension always is try to answer the easier reading comprehension problems first before you try to answer the long passages. Kasi dyan talaga nagkakaubusan ng oras. Okay? And I'll proceed next. Your high school. Paano naapektuhan kung saan ka nag-aaral ng high school yung result ng UPG mo? Not just your grades. Your high school matters. Okay? Paano nangyayari ito? And ito yung pinaka-controversial sa lahat. I know this will be where questions will be raised and magsasabi na, is it fair or is it not fair? But the reality is, it is what UP is doing. And tingnan natin kung anong mga factor na yon ang sabihin ko. Back then, when the formula was created, it was from your first 3 years in high school. So meron kang, isasabit mo yung 3 years in high school and then isasama na siya your high school weighted average. But now, you are in K-12. They now include grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, and grade 11. And your academic average is computed. Magkakasama dito. So, 85 ang ginagawang baseline ng UP. And then, your grades are ranged according to that. One factor that you have to remember is that the lowest grade for the 40% is 3, meaning passing. Bakit passing siya? Bakit hindi ka magkakaroon ng mas baksak na grade? It's simply because if you have a failing grade in your high school grade, you are not going to graduate and you're not going to be able to take the UPCAT. So the only grade is passing. So the range of students, sabi nga nilang naging result dito, the range of the UPCAT is as high as 1.5 to 3.5. So may mga baksak talaga sa UPCAT, mga baba. But your high school grades, ranges from 1.8 to 2.9. Kasi walang estudyanteng may baksak na grade na nag-a-apply for UP because simply they cannot apply for UP because of the requirement of the high school that you need to pass all your classes. So there is a narrower effect of the high school grades. But look at this word, the adjustment factor. Ito yung pinakamahirap na intindihan sa lahat, and alam ko dito ako makikreate ng controversy because a lot of people don't know what the adjustment factor is. The adjustment factor is a computation of the number of passers that come from a specific school divided by the number of takers in that specific school. Meaning, pag ang school nyo ay maraming pumapasa, meron kayong adjustment factor na mas maliit or negative na mas maliit, and it would mean that more students will have a higher chance of passing from your school. If your adjustment factor naman is walang nagtitake ng walang nakakapasa from your school, the adjustment factor penalizes your school. This is an unfortunate, this is a necessary factor kasi what if a school simply adjust their grades? Ang tataas, napakalinyat ng school, ang tataas na binibigay na grades, and then wala namang pumapasa ng UP. So UP needs to put in that adjustment factor. Okay? So alam ko may mga tanong kayo dito. Does the adjustment factor still apply? Here is the answer that I found searching for this. The adjustment factor may or may no longer be in use for passing UP. Okay? Ito ba yung naging reason? Nung nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic, was this the reason why bumaba bigla ang passing rate ng mga science high schools? Because maybe tinanggal na yung adjustment factor. And then when the UPCAT returned, the passing rate of science high school still didn't increase that much. Maybe because the adjustment factor was completely removed. Dati, maraming pumapasa sa isang science high school, and then, so meron silang adjustment na nakakatulong sa grades nila, nakakatulong sa UPG nila, but that adjustment factor might have been removed very recently. So, we cannot find any confirmation from UP from this, but it has been called for a long time na tanggalin nyo. Why is it being called to be removed? Because some schools have very low adjustment factors, for example, napipenalize. Some public schools napipenalize na bumababa ang chances nila. This would give, for example, a student from Sorsogon na halos walang pumapasa from their school, and then all of a sudden, a genius was born from that school. Pero dahil ang average niya is only 85, for example, genius, napakagaling niya mag-take ng exam. The next, sabi nga natin the next Albert Einstein coming from Sorsogon. Pero dahil may adjustment factor siya, hindi siya nakapasa sa UP. So the adjustment factor may have been removed for the recent UPCATs. We'll see if UP releases information on that. Is it to your advantage or to your disadvantage? I believe the adjustment factor is needed, but they have to tweak it better para mas maging fair. Okay? Kasi unfortunately, the adjustment factor penalized public schools while rewarding science high schools. Okay? So tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari in the next UPCAT. Will it affect you and will you know? We won't know. Basta the results will be there, but the adjustment factor might have been tweaked, might have been improved, but I believe it is still in there, but no longer the same adjustment factor as it was before. Academic track naman is not considered. This could be to your advantage or to your disadvantage. Meaning, kung ikaw ay STEM from one school and meron kang kaklase na nasa ABM from your school, hindi kino-consider, walang adjustment sa loob ng adjustment factor na to. So, what do you notice? Unfortunately, based on our surveys, when we go around schools, generally, the grades of STEM students are lower than the grades of ABM and UN students. Ito yung major, and even the GAS students. So, yes, medyo malas ng konti, gone based lang sa high school weighted average kung ikaw ay na-under STEM. But, look at it to your advantage as well, minsan din naman, because mathematics is a greater consideration when passing UP. When you are in STEM, you do have an advantage over the other tracks. Now, what is the EEAS of 1997? Ito yung pinaka-critical, and I was searching the other week and the other day kung ano nangyari. Sabi nila, meron ba pabigat at palugit sa UP? Ang sabi ng maraming estudyante and maraming comment doon, it's a myth, hindi totoo yan. Walang pabigat, walang palugit. No. Here's the thing, that the problem with social media right now is when they don't know something, maraming sumasagot ng confident. May quota course pa ba? Oo, sabi ng nanay ko, may quota course and may quota course pa. Walang palugit, myth lang yan, hindi totoo yan. Here I am right now stating the facts of this. There's no longer any quota course, and then there is the pabigat and the palugit. Let me explain what the EAAS of 1997 is. First, the pabigat and palugit. What are they and why are they implemented? There is a 0.05 palugit for public and barangay high schools. And there's also a palugit for indigenous communities, or if you are part of the minority groups of the country. Meron kang palugit, idina-adjust yung UPG mo by 0.05. And then, there is a 0.1 pabigat on your second choice campus. The purpose of this stems from the name of EEAS. EEAS means Excellence Equity Admission System. It was implemented in 1997, and here is what happens. 70% of the passers of UP would come from the general public. Okay? Other regions, NCR will be given pabigat if you choose in the second choice campus. And then, there's palugit for public, barangay, and vocational high schools and cultural minorities. Public science high schools and private high schools are not given an adjustment. However, ito yung pinakamabigat na question on the adjustment factor. The palugit is actually lower than the adjustment factor for public schools. Yun ang nakita ng maraming research and up until before K-12 implementation. So whether it was implemented later on, UP has not given an announcement on it, but that's 70%. What is the 30%? The additional 30% now is on the geographical equity component. If you are from the Visayas and the Mindanao, 30% of UP slots are allotted for you. So tinanong ko sa post, where you live also matters. This is to increase the representation of students going into UP. So 70%, wala siyang consideration. 30%, it's the social aspect. 30% is geographical equity component. Para meron tayong mga estudyante sa mga underrepresented areas na may reserved na slots. Unfortunately, other factors aside from that, there is what they call a phenomenon of no-show. May mga pumapasa from the underrepresented areas and then eventually still decide to not continue with UP. Okay? So anong mangyayari doon sa slots na hindi taken na yon? On the third pass, so first pass, ipapasa yung 70%. Okay? Second pass, ipapasa ngayon yung 30%. The third pass is, on no-shows, may ibibigay yung mga slots na to for other students. So anong may tutulong dito? If you are from underrepresented areas, you have an advantage of qualifying for UP, aside from the palugit and pabigat. Okay? Now, I will show one slide. One factor that you have to consider for applying for UP is the waitlisting. Mag-share ako ng bagong screen. Paano ito share? Sir, ito po ang aking share screen. If you look carefully at this slide, this is from UPLB waitlisting, there is a requirement of campus choice here. Your campus choice, and this is true to almost all campuses, to apply for waitlisting to a campus, you have to have chosen that campus at least as second choice. Okay? So for example, Meron na tayong, may courses na very strict. BS Biology and BS Chemistry, you have to have chosen UPLB as your first choice. Pag ginawa mong second choice lang ang UPLB, you will not be allowed to apply for waitlisting. The grades, on the other hand, is not flat 2.8. Some courses are pretty strict, 2.6, 2.5. That is actually quite high. And ito yung medyo matindi dito. To be allowed for waitlisting for a lot of courses, kailangan the choice of your first choice and second choice campus has to be what you are applying for. Ito yung hindi alam ng maraming estudyante when they applied for UP. Sorry, it's this part. Marami kasi nakikita, ang naging UPG nila is 2.4. Pero bakit hindi sila makapag-waitlist sa chemical engineering? Ang naging available lang sa kanila, sa maraming estudyante, is BS Philosophy, BS Forestry. Bakit yun lang ang naging available? It's because wala sa requirement na first or second choice yung degree. Okay? So, this is now an important aspect in filling up your UPCAT application form. If first choice campus, first choice course, always put in what you want. That is always our advice. Second choice, make sure you still want to go to that university. So for example, UP Los Baños, if you want to apply for waitlisting for UP Los Baños, you have to put them at least as second choice. Some courses, they will not allow you na hindi ka second choice. For example, BS Biology, medyo madilim lang, pero BS Biology, you have to be first choice campus, UPLB, first choice course, BS Biology. If you don't do that, hindi ka may tatanggap. Why? Marami kasing estudyante, they use UP Los Baños to simply get in and then transfer to another school. So, you now need to consider your first and second choice, your second choice campus at least, and then your first and second choice course. Yung mga factors na to will affect your qualifying for UP. Now, titingnan ko kung may questions tayo. Halos walang questions tayo dito. But this is a 30-minute video. This is the purpose of my video, na magkaroon lang tayo ng UPCAT algorithm. Now, if you have any questions, now is the time to post it. There are a few students watching, and I know some of you will be asking outside. Alam kong nag-multiple screen ako. Some of you will be asking outside of this setting. Kaya doon ko na lang isasagutin after the video. So, good afternoon everyone. This is only a 30-minute video for today, and I will be posting other videos on that will help you in the UPCAT applications. Now, for student, remember the UPCAT will now be on March 3. UPCAT application will start on March 3. I will post another video on that. And on waitlisting, once the results are released, I will also post a video on how to apply for waitlisting. So thank you for spending time with me this afternoon, and see you again on our next live stream. But still follow our page for other tips that I will post regularly at the Review Masters page. Good afternoon, everyone.